We hear a lot about New Year's resolutions. Well, I'm not a big fan of those, as they are often things you promise to do, and then when it doesn't work out that way, there's a lot of guilt and shame, and we certainly don't deserve that. Today, we want to do something a little bit different. We want to share with you 10 things that you can stop doing. And beloved, these may be things that could change everything, change your heart, change how you feel about yourself, change how you feel about others. They might even change the world.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
Well, hello and welcome to the FreedHearts podcast. We're so glad you're here with us. My name is Robert Cottrell, and I'm here with
Susan Cottrell.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing out there? Aw. There's a lot of answers. I know. A lot of answers. Again, welcome. We're so glad you're here with us. As always, subscribe, please, share, and support if you can. And again, this is our last podcast episode of the year. We're coming up on year end. We know that that's a time that a lot of you do some year-end giving, special giving. Also, it's a time that some of the companies you work for will match your gift if you just ask them about it. So please do. But please do keep FreedHearts. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Everything that we do is dependent upon the kind support, the generous support of people like you. So if you're able to help, especially with a year-end gift, that would mean a lot to us. So, and the way to do that is right on the FreedHearts website and on the donate. You can also find us a donate. If you search Venmo, it's easy to do that. Just search for @FreedHearts, one word. And again, all of that's on the website. So please do consider that as we come to the close of a year.
Yes.
We would appreciate it. And wow, thank you. What a year. What a year. Oh my gosh. I mean, we started this podcast 87 episodes ago, a couple of years ago, in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And as kind of a way to stay in touch. And since we're not able to see all of you out there in person and things like that, we started this and really had no idea, but it has really exploded. And as we, I think, shared recently, it's over about 150,000 or so downloads as we do this live. Over 7,000 cities, about 150 countries. It's ranked in the top 5% of all podcasts when measured by listens and downloads.
That's amazing.
That just stuns me. We are honored, we are humbled, and as we say, we hope it still feels to you like it's just us sitting around talking, having a cup of coffee. Speaking of that, hang on. So, and also we know that we're doing this at a time initially that the holidays are happening, they're coming up, and we want to say and acknowledge that we know this can be a difficult time for many of you out there. And remember, we want to encourage you, remember, you do not, let me say that again, you do not have to be anywhere you don't want to be for the holidays. Don't subject yourself to that. Okay, we encourage you to, as much as you're able, and I know some of our listeners are very young. Well, not very young, but younger, youth and things like that. So you may be a
little bit stuck.
Yeah, but you can do what you're able to do. But we encourage you to surround yourself with chosen family and friends, with people who accept you and love you as you are for who you are. So
yes,
we know this is a triggering time often. It can be a difficult time, but there are people out there, we say this to people in the past who are LGBTQ and who've been rejected by their parents. We know a lot of people who would love to have you as their kids.
Yes.
And their parents who feel alone in this journey. You're not alone. Find your community, find your chosen family community, surround yourself with that. Yeah.
Let me just toss in here that if you are a person who's stuck having to be there with your family and, whatever kind of comments they make or whatever, I just want you to know that we are with you. So as you're sitting there taking whatever stuff you feel you can't escape, you just think of us right there holding you, hugging you, kissing your cheek, and saying, you're not those things. We love you. You deserve to love and be loved, to be seen as you are. Just put that in your heart and hold us there as whatever's going on is going on. Okay?
Good. Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to take a break over the holidays here, and we will be back with you after the first of the year. And don't leave the podcast, because it's a great time to catch up on episodes you missed or listen to your favorite ones again. It's always so fun. And so this is our last episode of this year. And we know that you're going to hear a lot about New Year's resolutions. So, because the New Year's coming up, should old acquaintance be forgot? Actually, many old acquaintances should be forgotten.
And never brought to mind.
Never brought to mind again. So we're not a fan of New Year's resolutions. We're not a fan of those things, as they often are things you promise to do, and then when it doesn't work out that way, there's a lot of guilt and shame, and you don't deserve that.
Mm-mm.
So today we're going to share with you 10 things, and this is inspired by our friend Jim Palmer. We talked about him a couple of episodes ago. These are things you can stop doing.
Yeah.
And actually pretty simple things. It's not like, I'm not going to stop eating candy. Well, that's way too much to ask. But these are things you can stop doing.
Mm-hmm.
And these may be things that could, honestly, beloved, they could change everything. They could change your heart. They could change how you feel about yourself. They could change how you feel about others. They could increase your compassion. They could increase your understanding. They might even change the world.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jim, for this amazing list. So I just want to give that list, and then I want to talk about it and bring our thoughts into it as well. So let's go through this and talk about them. Did you have something you wanted to?
No.
Yeah. So what's the first thing?
The first thing is stop separating people into us and them. We talk about this a lot, especially in our episodes about the teachings of contempt. Do we know which episodes those are?
I think number 3 was the first one, and then we redid it. We did
we expanded on
a
it.
remix of it recently. So
okay.
So they're on there, but
So
it's
go back to
about the teaching of contempt. Yeah.
Near the beginning, you'll see it. Okay. Yeah, and
because it's one of the
teachings of contempt is one of the most dangerous teachings and deadly teachings throughout all of history, because it allows you to hate groups of people and teach contempt and engender hate against groups of people. What happens when you hate people? You dehumanize them. Mm-hmm. You don't have to treat them as human beings. You get to do whatever you want to them. And that's what happens when we separate people into us and them.
Well, that's how you start that. That's the first step in that dehumanization, in that oppression. It's not oppression of us.
Right.
It's them.
Right.
We're not rejecting us or condemning us. It's them.
Yeah.
So the moment that you put people in that box is where all of that starts.
Yeah. It's tribalism, but the worst thing of all is to put God in that and say, well, God is separating. God is rejecting these people. Really? Are you speaking for God on that? But to see God as dualistic and separating us and them, it certainly underwrites us then doing that. And it's the worst thing you can do, because it lets you hate people and treat them horribly.
That teaching of contempt, if you can understand that, it really helps you see things in a whole different way. And that's why it's number 1 on this list is stop separating people into us and them.
I mean, all the stuff that happens racially, it happens only because we view that race as a them.
Yeah.
So just saying.
Not just racially, but in class, in wealth, all kinds, in gender and everything.
Right.
If you're not us, you're them.
Right.
That could mean anything. So stop.
If God is us and not them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's number 1. Stop separating people into us and them. Number 2, stop believing that your humanity is an obstacle to overcome. Your humanity is what makes you human. It is beautiful. It is imperfectly perfect. You feel, you understand, you laugh, you cry, and none of that is anything you need to hide or overcome. Your humanity is not something you need to overcome.
Yes, you're just perfectly imperfect or perfectly perfect as you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need to be a better grade of person.
Yeah, but
you just don't.
Yeah, that's a message that we hear again from we've talked about how, all the gaslighting and all the guilt and shaming and stuff. It's like, oh, you're being too, somehow we shouldn't be human, or we shouldn't have common decency and be decent human beings, be a humane human.
Right.
And your humanity is something that you don't need to be, you don't need to be ashamed of that or overcome that or justify that or anything. It's not an obstacle. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beloved. So that's number 2. Stop believing your humanity is an obstacle to overcome. Do you have number 3?
Yeah.
Was there something else you wanted to say?
I was just thinking that like a toddler that's toddling around, learning to walk.
A toddler that toddles.
A toddler that toddles.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's probably connected, those 2 words. I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's very cute.
Hey, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. You're not the jokester.
I think I am.
Wow. Okay. No, you don't. Just not going to fix it now. You again for another episode. You stole my joke moment.
So we have toddlers who toddle, and when they fall, they miss their step. We don't say, "Oh, you're so stupid. You're so gosh, what's the matter with you?" Of course you don't. If you're a humane human, you just say, "Oh," and you help them up or whatever. You know that they're perfectly perfect, just the way they are as they're toddling. And we're all toddling in some way in our lives, all of us, even the person that's judging you. And, that's just humanity. So, okay, I think we covered that, but I wanted to give you a little word picture there.
You just wanted to stick in the joke there. You got number 3
number
for
3 is stop treating the afterlife as more important than the here life. I mean, seriously, the kingdom of God is at hand. Stop looking up.
Yeah. Does that sound familiar? Stop looking up. What are you looking up? Look around.
Yeah. Stop looking for Jesus in the eastern sky and start looking for Jesus in your neighbor.
Preach it.
Yeah. So it's not about whatever happens next. It's about whatever happens now. It's about who you are now. Be the love that we are meant to be in this world now, to the next person you encounter, to the person you're with right now.
This focus on the afterlife, on what is next, it's just justified so many, we got to make sure we're treating them this way because we got to make sure they're going to end up in heaven, or we are able to be this mean or this rough or this condemning or this judgmental or this self-righteous, whatever, because it's just, we are so focused on the afterlife that we forget right here, right now. Yeah. And that's what Jesus was all about, is right here, right now.
I mean, people were burned at the stake to free their soul, to redeem their soul for the afterlife. But I'll take my chances in the afterlife, please.
Ouch.
Just let me go. Yeah.
Yeah. So number 3 is stop treating the afterlife as more important than the here life. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Number 4, stop making God about correct theology.
God is not about theology.
Yeah. No boxes, not theology. I mean, if it is, it's likely not God, because God is the universe, spirit is undefinable. Right. So to try to take everything that the spirit, that universe, that God is, and put it into a theology, why would you ever do that? Well, because we've said you do that because we can make it about us and them at that point. We can make our theology different than your theology and everything that goes with that. So stop making God about correct theology. That's not what God is about.
It's like taking all of Scripture and boiling it down to an outline. So Scripture is supposed to be a story of humanity on a journey. And we boiled it down humanity has boiled it down to like an outline structure of God. That is not the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. But even not that. They've really boiled it down and pulled out whatever works for to match their own motives.
Right. Yeah. Lost all the humanity in the process. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5.
Stop dividing up the world into sacred and secular. The world is sacred. Yeah. You are sacred. Others are sacred.
Yep.
This is a version of the teaching of contempt.
Yeah. This kind of division. That's right. That's right. I mean, we are, they are, it is sacred.
Yes.
Period.
Look in the mirror and say, you're sacred. Okay.
Look outside. Say,
you're sacred.
That's sacred.
Look at your partner. Say, you're sacred.
Hey, baby, you're sacred. Okay, that's my joke.
I knew he'd respond that way.
Finally,
I'm just kidding.
35 years, he finally said I'm sacred. Okay, let's just, number 6, stop mistrusting the voice inside you. You know our position on this, beloved. Your heart is good. We cannot say that enough. You can't look in the mirror and go, your heart is good. The Spirit, that voice inside of you, that still small voice inside of you will lead you in all truth. That's what Jesus said. And it is uncontrollable. That's an uncontrollable concept. So organized religion had to turn it into something bad. Don't listen to Spirit. Listen to us. Don't read the Bible. Let us explain to you what the Bible says. Yes.
In whose interest is it that you don't trust yourself? Who benefits from that?
Yeah.
People in authority over you, or who want to be in authority of you.
Yeah.
You, not you. It's not for your best interest that you don't trust yourself. You've been conditioned. We've been conditioned not to trust ourselves for the benefit of people who want power over us.
But Susan, the Bible says that the heart is deceitfully. Oh wait, we know we talked about this. What does it say? It says the heart is
deep. Not deceitfully wicked, who can know it. The heart is deep, who can know it. Well,
that's totally different.
Of course it is.
That's totally different.
Meaning there's more in you than you can even fathom.
The heart is beautifully.
So dive in,
the heart
beloved.
The heart has no box.
Yeah.
The heart is beautifully deep. Who can know it?
Yeah, and the water's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
Dive on in.
So number 6 was stop mistrusting the voice inside of you. You got number 7?
Stop limiting your experience of the divine to the people, places, and programs of organized religion. Religion and God, the divine, Spirit, are very different things. Religion is very different from God, the divine, and Spirit. Polar opposites. And religion is not the only way to experience the divine. In fact, it's often not the way. It's, in fact, often the biggest obstacle. Divine cannot be put into a box, and the box is the only place that religion can operate.
Wow, say that again.
Yeah, you said that religion only operates in a box. It can only operate in a box, and divine doesn't fit in a box. So your divine experience of God, of your spirituality, is not going to fit in the box of religion if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
If you're plumbing the depths of your spiritual relationship, it will naturally vastly overflow that box.
Yeah. I mean, divine can't fit in a box.
Period.
Spirit can't, universe can't, God can't. But religion has to operate in a box.
Yes.
Just that's by the nature of how it's designed, how it's structured. It has to operate in a box.
Yes. It's a system. Right.
So again, number 7 was stop limiting your experience of the divine to people, places, and programs in religion. Divine is bigger than that.
Yeah.
Number 8 is stop questioning your competence in charting your own spiritual path.
Yes.
This is more along the line of that your heart is good. You can, again, Jesus said that the Spirit will lead you in all truth.
Yes.
You can stop questioning your ability, your competence in charting your own spiritual path.
Yeah, and that's that Spirit inside of you that you can trust, that indwelling Spirit.
If you think about that, should you not listen to the Spirit to guide your spiritual path? It just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's funny how so many things make sense to me now. And I know out there, beloved, you feel the same way. It's like, it's so clear.
Yeah, how did I not see this before?
How did I not see this before?
That's how conditioning works.
And how all these people out there, we say this, I've said this before, but sometimes I'm not buying that they don't see it anymore. But I mean, a lot of them don't. A lot of them sitting in the pews still don't see this because they're so conditioned, so manipulated, and so brainwashed in that. But some of these leaders I know this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
the leaders are often in a different position. They've got something to protect.
Yeah. Again, you got this. You can chart your own spiritual path.
Yes.
So you can stop questioning.
Who better?
Yeah.
Some
better?
Religious leader who doesn't really know you deeply.
Yeah. And along that same line is number 9.
Yes. Stop apologizing for who you are and for your journey. You are not broken. You are worthy. You don't need to be fixed. You're not broken. Your journey is your journey. You're not broken. You're good. You're full.
What did you just say?
Wealthy inside. You're not broken. You are whole and complete. When people say, be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect, I want to just punch somebody. Be the one who said that, because...
Stop. Number 9.5, stop punching people.
Okay. I've punched 0 people in my life, but this one is, be perfect as God is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect means whole and complete and mature and fully realized. That's what it means. We're not supposed to be perfect. Like, oh my gosh, I accidentally broke that glass over there. I'm no longer perfect. What?
Well, that
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, that would go along with, and here are the 10 things to do to be perfect.
Right.
And that's again, if you're going to live...
Resolutions, you mean?
Well, no, but with anything, any rules, a rule-based, behavior-focused religion.
Right.
But if it's your authentic life, if you're going to live an authentic life, that's a unique life that is all yours.
Yes.
And your path to that, your spiritual development, is your unique journey.
Yes.
It will not look like mine. It will not look like Susan's. It will not look like anyone. It's yours. Yes. And that's wonderful. You don't need to apologize for that.
When you practice yoga or something like that, they always say, find your own horizon. And it occurred to me when I heard that, it's like, oh yeah, every horizon is specific to the person looking at it. Because if you're 2 degrees away, your horizon is different than mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so my fully realized self looks different than yours.
Yeah.
Now, if you really have the fruit of the Spirit, which is the spiritual journey you're on, then you'll have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness.
All of that will be increasing in life. Yeah.
All of that shows up in your life in deep connection with the Spirit. Yes, but it's going to look different.
Yeah. So stop apologizing for who you are, unique and beautiful, and what your journey is, unique and beautiful. So number 10, the last thing to stop doing. Okay, all that said, number 10 is stop pouring concrete over each new discovery. Okay, stop pouring concrete over each new discovery. At the end of the day, don't put everything you've discovered outside of the box into a new box.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Remain open, beloved. Keep listening. Keep asking questions. Keep listening. Keep asking questions. Keep listening. Keep growing.
Yes.
We all are. And that is beautiful.
Yes.
Because to know, that's never anything to be afraid of, because to know, and let's have it start with looking in the mirror and going, you are beloved. You are loved as you are for who you are. You are worthy. When you know that in your heart, then the new discoveries and the changes and the questions and the answers are great. They're beautiful. You're not afraid of that because you're secure in who you are. You know?
And we're always expanding. If you're growing, you're expanding. I read something about it as you move into older age. I read this a long time ago, that you're either expanding or contracting. And if you're contracting, you're going more and more into fear and isolation. And it's a downward slide. It's like kind of on your way out. But as you keep expanding, your life just gets bigger and bigger. It doesn't mean you're out traveling more. It means your viewpoint keeps getting bigger. And I think, Jesus was not a Christian. Buddha was not a Buddhist. It's like these beautiful revelations from Spirit, and then they get boxed up into this ism.
Yeah.
Now this is Christianity. No, it's meant to keep expanding.
Yeah.
And that's what, they mean when they say God is progressive, meaning God is still progressing us out as humanity and growing us. I don't want to reach the end of my, okay, this is now the final box. This is the shape my faith takes now to the end of my life.
Yeah.
No, we keep expanding, always
and
growing.
That's beautiful. Again, that's like if you're going down the highway and you think, oh wow, this is the last, In-N-Out burger I will ever find. I'm done eating. No, keep going. There are other In-N-Out burgers.
Or whatever.
There are other things. There are pizza places and Taco Bell. Okay. Anyway, that's silly. Like I said, no jokes for me, clearly, on this episode. But don't stop pouring concrete over each new discovery. Don't put everything you've discovered outside the boxes you've opened into a new box.
When they make those sand mandalas, they purposely at the end wash them away to say that nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Our discoveries are not permanent. They're just steps in a stream that we're using to get to the next steps in the stream.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. And again, we are not really a list of things to do or not to do kind of people. That's just not who we are. And we know this is a list we just gave you because sometimes often
use it to expand.
Yeah, because oftentimes that will just set you up to fail. So maybe we can just sum this up, this whole list, in a way to live, a way to view yourself and a way to view others.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because your journey is your journey. And God, Spirit, the universe, that all is in you is indefinable and bigger than we can ever imagine. And it loves you. And you can listen to and trust your heart to guide you in all these spiritual things.
Yeah. So that's
it's the main thing you can trust.
Yeah. Can you say that again? Because that's a really good summary of this whole list. It kind of puts it into something very simple.
That God, Spirit, and universe, however you want to say it, you see, it's not even definable. It's undefinable and bigger than we can ever imagine. And it loves you. Spirit loves you. And you can listen to and trust your heart, that spirit that is within you, in whose image you create. You're created. You're a hologram of the infinity of spirit in the universe. It will guide you in all things.
Yeah. And your journey. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can trust that.
Yeah.
To take your journey.
Yeah. Because it's your journey. Your journey is your journey.
Yes.
And so, beloved, as we come to the close of this year and move forward, remember, please, you are beloved. You deserve to love and be loved as you are for who you are. Believe that about yourself. Treat yourself that way. Talk to yourself that way. And believe, treat, and talk to others the same way. Yeah?
Yes.
So we love you. We are excited to be on this journey with you. And we will see you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
We love you.
Bye. Bye.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
You've been listening to the FreedHearts podcast. We have extensive resources and vibrant community for you at www.freedhearts.org. Just come say hello. And if you have questions or issues or comments about the podcast, things you'd like us to talk about, reach out to us at podcast@freedhearts.org. The music is provided by Hannah Cottrell, our daughter, the Grammy-nominated Saint Sinner, and you can find out more about her at heysaintsinner.com. Please share this, subscribe, and follow on your favorite platform, and thanks for listening.